Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today, episode number 3, or video number 3, on the Essence Drain Contagion Spellslinger God tier mode. Throw bazillions exalts on this character and see what is the outcome. Flex build number 3 in this league, just because of the sheer amount of items that you can get in this league, and we're gonna see how well I'm doing on, or at least like progressing through the character. On video 1, I was just talking about my path of building. What is the aim that we want to reach, like the 9 million DPS, the 15,000 energy shield, towards the elemental ailment immunity, stun immunity, like all that kind of sources, right? In last video, I was starting to fill up my spreadsheet so we see what is the actual cost that I spent on this build already. And we talked about crafting the rings, the belt, and the amulet. So today, after a massive gameplay showcase, basically, right, we're going to talk about the helm, the shield, boots, and gloves, how to craft those. It's not going to be that in-depth anymore, because in the last video, I kind of like showed everything on how to choose your bases, what things you should look out for, what are tags, how to harvest, craft them, and so on, right? And here's some small words, because I'm reading through the comments of the last 2 videos, and there is like a lot of hate going on, right, towards this series, right? And yeah, I just want to spend some words, or at least a minute, to talk about that stuff here, because it kind of triggers me. Like a lot of comments like so negative about, oh my god, it's just somebody who just wants to flex, showing off his items that he crafted, like what a no-lifer and whatnot, you know. But yeah, this video is declared as a flex guide, as a flex build. So if you're just if you have nothing better to do than just writing like, hey, this guy is just showing off and flexing, like what the fuck, I mean, then I'm kind of questioning your IQ a little bit, because it's the same if you would search for a cat video, for example, and you're complaining about that there is cats in the video and no dogs, for example, right? So think about that one. Anyways, this is just for, I mean, again, if you don't like this series, it's totally fine, you know? As a content creator, I just try to mix my content a little bit up, like some gambling videos, some farming projects, build guides on the lower budget side, on League Start at least, on the higher budget side, and in Harvest League, just like insane characters that we probably never gonna get again. So I don't know, like a lot of people do enjoy that, so if you don't, then I'm sorry, and hopefully some of my future videos will please you a little bit more, but it's like super hard to please everybody with, as a content creator, right? You will always find somebody that is not liking what you do, but it's totally fine, right? Good. So today, more map showcase, since a lot of people were complaining that was missing last video. There was a little bit showcase, right? But I was level 70, and I already spent like 1,000 exalts based on the gems, based on my my shafts and the cluster jewels that I'm currently wearing, which is like between 200 250 exalts. And if you already spend 1,000 exalts and then your build is kind of performing mediocre just because you don't have the damage from level 72, that would just produce so much hate comments again. So that's why I didn't really want to do it. But in the other hand, today we're gonna run a map, right? So map prep is all just like prepared maps. So we're just gonna run a tier 15 map. We're gonna open a bunch of tier 2 seats and tier 1 seats, so you see the gardening aspect of it as well. Tankiness, we're almost there, so we are ailment immune. We still miss about 40% stun avoidance, and this is how I died twice. One in the full Delirium map and once yesterday on a simulacrum, because I was just in the middle, and I was like, hey, how long can I actually survive that, right? Because I'm like that insanely tanky on this character. And at some point there were so many monsters hitting me that I couldn't even flame dash out of the monsters anymore, and I just died at some point, so I either could like log out or, yeah, just die as a man, right? I mean, I tried to log out, but I still died like a man, so anyways, the tankiness is quite insane on this build. At the moment for the DPS part, so I'm working on the medium cluster jewels at the moment, and they are quite hard to craft because there is so many chaos modifiers on it. So basically what a chaos, what the jewel that I want to have looks like is like T1 all res, T1 chaos res. These are the suffixes. And on the top side, we have like, what is it? Not exposure therapy, it was another one. Student of Decay. Student of Decay, which gives you dot plus chaos res. And the other one was some life mod that gives you dot multi, I think 10%. I forgot what stat it actually was. But the thing is, this is what I've done yet, right? I have like 4 of these medium cluster jewels at the moment. All of those have T1 resistance and chaos res. But all the other nodes are just like shit or not existing at least, right? So here's like some mana modifiers. Here's like Unwavering Evil. Here I'm missing like other stats. So this is done on all 5. This is missing. And that's why I'm not chaos res capped yet. And this is why I'm missing more than half of my DPS already, right? So currently, in the current state, we have about 4 million Essence Drain DPS, tooltip-wise, over 1 million already. But once these medium cluster jewels and the last small cluster jewel is done, I'm basically over doubling my DPS, because there is still no double +1 on my wand, and there is the +1 chaos missing on the shield as well. So that's basically +2 chaos skills, which actually gives me like 1 million DPS just with those +2. But anyways, so do we need anything? I don't think. We're just gonna run a quick map here and open some of the garden layout before we talk about the missing items that I have over here. So basically, simple playstyle. 1 button and see everything like dying. The only thing you have to pay a little bit attention, first of all, is these immune monsters here. You always need to check out for the totems and blight them down, because your essence drain will not kill them. Because it will only spread once you kill an enemy, right? And if it's like Elise cannot die, you will never freaking kill that shit, right? And the other thing is, when you're like having your essence drain or your contagion too far away, and your essence drain kills the first monster that is here, you will not have a chain reaction. So you kind of have to check out that your mouse is pretty near to your character at this part, right? Now let's go left side. Cassia takes way too long. Like there is always a couple of things, even if I play a build for like 2000 exalts at the moment, I think there is always things that I kind of would like to have different, or things that I don't like about the build, right? And I would say it's quite slow in terms of movement speed, like compared to an assassin. This is actually slow. I do have, like, once my Quicksilver Flask is up, the movement speed is quite okay. But once it falls down, like here, or I'm like slowed or something, I don't know. It's just feels a little bit slow, right? And the AoE is a small part as well, because if you're self-casting, you will have like 2 million extra DPS basically, and your contagion will have a lot more AoE, because you can link it up with Intensify, and Intensify will not get supported by Spellslinger. So I only have my contagion with increased AoE, and the Intensify would be in here if it would be self-casted, right? But therefore, like, as a self-casted version, you would have more DPS and more area of effect, but you would need to like self-cast Essence Drain Contagion all the time, and I still prefer the Spellslinger with just 1 button Essence Drain Contagion, which gives it like a lot more quality of life on that part. So let's get some of these things here going. It's like super nice, like once the contagion spreads, there's like everything dying. Like it's just literally 1 attack and the entire thing dies, because there is no cap on how many monsters can be afflicted by your Essence Drain. It's just a stacking buff, and sometimes when I do like blighted maps, or at least like full delirium maps, I get over 1 million energy shield regen per second, which is kind of insane, because there is so many monsters affected by my Essence Drain, right? And it's as I said, a stacking buff. So here was nothing. Let's open those 3. Currently farming like thousands of seeds a day just to get more and more crafts going. So that's the next one. So we have here, well, it's an augment fizz, a remove fizz, and that's pretty much it. So I'll just like farm like 6 collectors per color at the moment, and just to get like anything going, because I'm still like tanking up. Like all of my tanks here are the 5000 already, so I upgraded them like in the last 2 days. So I'm still working on that. So let's go for the yellow ones. 2, 3. Pop my flasks in the end, and then just... And once again, there you go. Like these yellow beasts, they spawn like some other beast once they die, and there's like hundreds of those, and it's just 1 Essence Drain Contagion, and everything just disappears. It's just great. So, reforge, augment cold, remove cold, that's nice. Any life? Remove, add life, there you go. There's another exalt. For crafting, reforge, randomize, doesn't matter. Next one. Reforge. Remove non-life, that's bad. I'm just gonna skip that, fill up some more tanks. Let's get the next 3 going. 1, 2, 3. And let it spread. So good. I don't know, I love Essence Drain Contagion. So, remove attack, that's fine. And remove non-attack is bad. Fill up again. Next one has nothing. I'm like only interested in add remove or augment remove basically. And the rest just is like life force to grow up some tier 2 seeds. So let's go to the blue. These are like the worst. Like if they like channel target you. Do we have some of those mobs? Yeah, those ones that are like spitting like, I don't know, like winter orb kind of thing. That could get hilarious, but it's still, I haven't died on a character at this part in any kind of harvest. It's kind of ridiculous in how tanky this boy is. It's absolutely amazing to play. So remove. Holy shit. Next one. Not really. More tier 2 seats, so that's the last of the T1 seats, and then we have like 6 fields with tier 2. So good. So freaking good clearing. So remove at defense is always good. Need a bunch of those for my shield and for the gloves that I'm working on right now. Remove at defense once again. Remove chaos. Nope. And here we have remove non-chaos. Like remove chaos is good. Randomizes. I don't care. So that was all the tier 1 seats. Planned it again, and now we're gonna go over and get some of the tier 2 seats going. So these boys here are a bit more tanky. But we still should be fine, I hope. So look at this one going. You definitely see that I'm like missing stun immunity, because sometimes I get locked down in place. But yeah, once one essence, well at least once one monster dies and the essence drain starts to spread, like everything is just dying. So, Reforge, keep prefix is good. I don't care about this one. Sextants, not really. Not really. Catalysts could do, but you know, I'm just gonna soak up all the life force here. Here we have shit tons of anything that we're gonna keep. Same modifiers, not really. I'm just gonna soak this one up. Fill up my beautiful tank so we can start doing the tier 3 and tier 4 seats in one rotation. So let's go to the yellow ones. I'm like really only interested in the ones that I actually would use at some part, right? Holy shit, lagging. No. And we're done. Easy. It's like, yeah, I know my DPS is kind of... It's not bad. It's probably the strongest Essence Drainer I've ever played in terms of damage as well at the moment, right? Like, last phase Cyrus takes like 5 seconds or so, which is insane for Essence Drain. But I still know I won't get twice as much DPS once I'm done with the build, right? So, it's all about the medium cluster jewels at this part. So, anything interesting here? Enchant has additional modifier? No. Wall-sided area... I think the implicits we can save, and the rest we're just gonna soak up again. Flask doesn't matter, sacrifice, not really. There's some more implicit things. And soak up, that's another 40,000 juice here, and these are all 5,000 tanks, so pretty sure I'm gonna do some, like a tier 4, tier 3 rotation today. And let's go to the last one. What are these snakes? Snakes on a snakes in a garden. Holy shit. Character is so tanky, dude. I just love it. I love the tankiness of builds. Like I was always like a big fan of like this super big DPS, right? But I kind of learned in the last 2 or 3 leagues that I just enjoyed more to have a tanky character that has like less DPS, but I don't care as long as I stay there like super beefy and just tank everything away. It's like great. So, I need this one, that one for my small cluster jewel. Then Reforge crit, non-crit, randomize crit. Remove add crit is pretty good. Change, not really. Soak up everything. Plant new. And here we have, oh, even more of those. Magic item, adding 4. I don't even know if this works in cluster jewels, to be honest. Because I plan to do, like, I have one of the cluster jewel that is still magic with intelligence and effect. And I plan to like imprint those, use that craft, and if it sucks or I don't get T1 attributes, then I just imprint again and do again. So I don't know if this will work at some point. Values, reroll. The values is just divine. I don't care about that. Change fragments, not really. Soak up. There we go. Get some more of that going. I would say let's just place the stuff over here in my storage seat, tank, whatever. Finish the map, and then let's talk about the changes to the build and what the current version looks like. I mean, I have Ushabi, but I want to keep that one for the final video for all the map showcase. Like, we probably do a bossing marathon or something like that. It's going to be cool to see how long it takes to finish like all the bosses in the game in one go. Like all Conqueror, Cyrus, Elder, Shaper, Uber Elder. I even have an Owl in my Delph right now that I want to do with this build. And other stuff, so it's going to be sick. Let's just burst this guy down. And there you go. Map clear. Garden clear. I hope everybody that was looking for the map showcase is now pleased. Alright. And if you're still interested, like, holy shit, this character looks kind of cool. What were the changes to it from the last video? Then you're invited to just stay a while and listen. Good. What have I changed? I finished... No, I'm not... I finished my boots, okay? I finished. The boots are done. They are 6x tier 1. Perfectly divined. The gloves, I'm still re-rolling add remove defense for double T1. The shield is still in progress. I spent another like 50 exalts in add remove defense trying to hit this double T1 so I can remove the suffixes cannot be changed and augment chaos and re-roll the chaos modifiers until I hit the +1, which will be a big DPS increase. And the helm was already fixed at that part. So if you take a look at the write-down for now, so updated today, the wand still in... Like, I haven't even cared about the wand yet. This is just, like, still Aberrant Fossil for, like, +1 Chaos and Chaos.multi a little bit. So, this, like, the 10x that is listed over here is just for the base item level 86 Hunter, 3 white sockets, basically, right? Shield, we're still in the progress here. What else did I added? All the awakened gems, because last time we were like level 72, right? And now after level 82 I added all of the level 6 awakened gems, and then yesterday I leveled up to like 95 and a half or a third at the moment. So leveling wise it's just a breeze to play with that build. Could be a little bit faster though in the movement speed wise. So currently invested 2066 exalts, which is about 7.5 mirrors on the current character. So you might wonder like what is then missing, right? So there is still the voices missing. I currently bought a voices with like 5 passives for like 7 exalts, so this should be a 1 passive at some point. And I miss my medium cluster jewels, like a 5th of those, and I still miss one of those. Like, Gassy was so kind, so we had like a small challenge, because he was making fun a little bit out of me, saying like, yeah, well, how can you spend 250x for crafting one of these small cluster jewels? It's not even that hard, you know? And I said like, dude, if you bring me one of those, I'll pay you 200 exalts, right? And he was like, yeah, challenge accepted, let's do that, right? It took him like 1.5 days and probably 200x to actually get it, but he actually made it, so big props Gassy for finishing that jewel. So I bought it off him for 200 exalt, so I have now 4 of these bad boys, still missing one, and that's going to be another challenge to do so. But it's all about the cluster jewels and the wand. So basically the wand, medium, and large cluster jewels, like medium and small cluster jewels, and the rest is actually done. We have the Watcher's Eye, we have the Corrupted Blood Spreading Rod, we have an Thread of Hope now with Cursed Silence, for example. And so at the moment it's about 2100x, and I probably need another 1000x to finish the rest of the build, which is kind of hilarious on that part, because the one voices is about 400x. The small cluster jewel I would value at about 200, so we are at 600 exalts just for those. Then we probably need another like 30, 40, maybe 50x to finish all the medium cluster jewels. And on top of that, we need to craft the wand, which will probably soak up another 200-300 exalts at this part, because it's going to be relatively hard to craft this one, right? Good. Let's talk about the helm real quick. It's basically dense fossil spammed for triple T1 energy shield. Took like, I think like 20x or 30x in dense fossils. And then I just like add remove influence modifier for the mana reserve, and then augment chaos for the -9, and then crafted ailment immunity. So nothing too hard on this part. For the shield, we have double ES with +1 chaos at some point, and +1 chaos is better than spell damage because you want to get your essence drain to level 30 and above 30, so from 30 to 31 it's like a big downfall of DPS, right? So max essence drain to make the most profit, or at least the most value out of it, is level 30, I think. So I'm having 28 here. I know I will get +1 on the shield and +1 again on the wand for the spell skill gems, and I will have exactly level 30, and that's why +1 chaos is better than spell damage. Other than that, recovery, ES on block, socketed mana reservation, you can like awaken orb this together with like the hunter reduced mana reservation and the shaper spell block to get going, and then just augment defense, augment defenses basically. And do keep in mind that the suffix modifier, the energy shield recovery on block, is 100% guaranteed mod, right? There is no other defense suffix modifier than this one, and I think it only has one tier as well. So once you're done with like your prefix and you augment another defense, you will most likely, or 100% guaranteed, hit the energy shield when you block. For the boots, I choose to go with Shaper boots for the avoid elemental ailment. So I want to have ailment immunity on this build. I get 25 on the helm, 25 on the gloves, which is 50, plus 35 makes it 85. And this node over here gives me 20% ailment immunity, and that's why I'm currently on 105. Here, Ignite and Chill have 10 more just because I'm spamming the cluster jewels at the moment to get my stun avoidance, right? I think I have like 4 of those already, so we are on a 60% stun avoidance, so I'm still rolling those to get the 100% going, and 20% stun immunity is also the Arcane Swiftness, which is basically one of the best nodes in the freaking game. It's actually insane. Good, that's why I said, like, chance to avoid elemental ailments, movement speed, chaos res, cold res, and double energy shield. This time around, since I know how painful it is to craft double ES modifiers on like shield, gloves, and stuff like that, it can easily cost like 50 to 100 exalts just to hit this double T1, right? So I choose to go with the just dance fossil spamming for double T1 ES, and then basically augment speed, augment cold. Now basically, first of all, once you have the double energy shield, then you're like keep prefix, like reforge item and keep prefix until you hit the chance to avoid elemental ailments, or since the energy shield modifiers are non-influence modifiers, you can basically get your prefixes full and then augment an influence and add remove influence until you hit the T1 chance to avoid ailment immunity, and from that point it's basically an augment speed for the movement speed and then rerolls for T1, cold res, chaos res, nothing too fancy over here. Good. Then for the gloves, I choose to go with the Essence Craft because I have my Blight setup in here, and this makes it a potential 5-link basically. So this was the Essence of Delirium, if I'm not entirely mistaken here. Insanity, Horror, this one, Delirium, yeah. 30% more damage over time for socketed skills, right? So what I did is buying the base, throw the Essence on top of that, and the rest basically is add remove influence for the damage over time. It can be spell damage as well. Technically, damage over time is better just because my Righteous Fire will profit from that as well, the 300,000 DPS of Righteous Fire. But spell damage is totally fine as well. It's the same modifier, and you can get those with add remove caster, for example, right? And your Blight, your Essence Drain, everything will be based on spell damage. So spell damage will have the same effect, right? Then double augment defense for the energy shield, augment chaos for the multiplier, and then a craft a chance to avoid elemental ailments, and it's pretty much done. So for the crafting part, I still need to get the double T1 ES on my gloves, on the shield, and then the +1 chaos. The boots are done. The helm needs to be divined, but it's still 5 times tier 1, so pretty much done. It's just shit, dude, to divine a triple energy shield prefix item, right? I think max is 373. I'm currently on 365, so I was like, that's fine for now. And then basically the wand is the worst thing in the build, basically, together with a small cluster jewels that I still have to get. And this is going to be probably a separate video once I will start crafting a wand, if I'm gonna mention it, if I'll have the currency for it, right? Because at the moment I have like, I think 200x, roughly 200x. I'm still like grinding like a madman, trying to finish off my my challenges and stuff. But there might be that I'm done with the build before I even start crafting the wand, because I know this will cost 100 of exalts, and if I just don't have hundreds of exalts, then I'll probably just not craft it at all. I tried to make the build as good as possible based on my path of building, but I also know, alright, voices, you know, 400x to have 400x, no, so I'm probably better off with the 5 voices at the moment for 7x. Then, as I said, the medium cluster jewels, small cluster jewels have a higher priority than actually getting like T1 max % ES on the amulet. And in the end, it's still the wand opener. So we're gonna see how good I can make currency in the next like 2 or 3 days. And if it's then worth it to actually go for the wand crafting, because it's going to be quite ridiculous to get this one going. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed part 3 of the series. So next part, I think the next video will be the end video of it. So a shit ton of footage with all the bosses basically. Maybe in a full Delira map, we're gonna see about that. I don't want to make like an hour video just of gameplay, right? So we're probably gonna do all the Conquerors, Saurus, Simulacrum, we're gonna see about that, and then basically the final state, we're gonna compare this character to the Path of Building, to the design version that I made. Basically, how close did we come to the values of the actual POB for the plan. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.